Our guest, Sumaya Beltifa, a communications coordinator for the International Red Cross. Ms. Beltifa, welcome to the programme. Thank you for joining us. Now, this airstrike hit early in the morning with no military presence or objects around. What chance do civilians have when a bombing raid like this comes so unexpectedly?
The chances are very poor, for sure, because, as you said, it's something unexpected. And just to mention that there were actually two airstrikes that hit three main buildings in the neighborhood residential area, which is really nearby. And as I am actually living in Sana'a, we heard them pretty loud and sound around 2 o'clock in the morning.
What message can we take from this? Is it an indication that it doesn't matter if civilian lives are at stake in Yemen? The Saudi-led coalition or other groups will just continue bombing anyway?
This is really unfortunate, and this is one of the reasons why the ICRC today issued a news release on the attack that mainly according to our team, who today actually in the early afternoon managed to get into the spot, and we could see but by ourselves through our colleagues that those targets they are not seen as military objectives as such, and civilians are the most people who suffered from the attack. And for sure, this is something which is unacceptable, and this is against the international humanitarian law. Just for you to remind you that early this month, the ICRC has already shared his concerns about the alarming situation about the airstrikes actually increasing in the whole country, starting by Taiz and Sada. Now we have in this situation not only Taiz and Sada, but also Sana'a capital and surrounding.
It seems at this point all we can do is sit and watch as the civilian death toll continues to rise. The United Nations says the airstrikes by the Saudi-led coalition have killed 42 civilians in Yemen in just over the past week. Is there anything that can be done by the likes of the UN to prevent further collateral damage?
What we can prevent is really from the point of view of the ICRC and how we work and we tackle these issues, that we remind again and again all the parties to show restraint. And at the end, none of us as a humanitarian can really stop the war. It's really something in the hands actually of the warring parties. And we are pushing them, all of them, those on the ground and those actually supporting like the coalition, to respect the civilians and that they are not a legitimate target. They are not, and they should not be killed.
Now, other than the obvious deadly threat posed by these strikes, how are they affecting civilian life on the ground?
The situation is really catastrophic. As you know, Yemen is having this current war since more than 2 years. The public health system is almost collapsing. The medical staff is not paid for almost 1 year. They are almost working on a voluntary basis. They don't have medication. A lot of restrictions actually to enter food, medication to the country. The Sana'a airport is not actually open to civilians, to the Yemeni population who needs to get access to more health care. Many people are suffering from lack of insulin, which is not existing, or actually treatment for dialysis. And one of the reasons why the ICRC needed to step further his response and to bring actually even insulin last year and this current year to the country. Then the situation is really difficult for the Yemenis on a day-to-day basis.
Sumaya Beltifa, a communications coordinator for the International Red Cross, thank you for your time.